Hey, this is Bruce Cook, and just making a quick video, another update. This is October 15th, I believe, and I do have some more developments. Um, First off, I had a little surprise. Both my spicy bell pepper plant and my giant red Marconi plant are putting out flowers all of a sudden. I was convinced that the first round of peppers that they put out, the spicy bell pepper was just a couple. The giant red Marconi was just one. And they weren't putting out any flowers after that. The plants weren't looking too well. And I almost considered throwing these out when I went around to do a little more reorganizing. And some just told me to keep them around and cross my fingers. Well, lately I decided to start feeding my plants a low dose of Miracle Grow plant food. So I only used a tiny bit of the food for each gallon of water that I use. Like typically you don't want to have more than a 10-10-10 ratio, and I put even far less than that. So I'm guessing the amount that I was putting in each gallon of water was probably somewhere around like 2 and whatever else the math is. And suddenly a lot of my plants started putting out lots of flowers. The pepper growth boosted, and most of my flowers are turning into peppers. They're not dropping off. But anyways, here's my spicy bell pepper plant. And before it only ever grew 2 flowers. And now all of a sudden, since it's the second time I fed these things Miracle Grow. I did it once a couple weeks ago and once a week ago. And check that out. I got tons of flowers starting to grow on here. And I already have 1 pepper. See if I'm getting that in the frame. Oh, I can't tell. Yep, there it is. And the red Marconi plant already has got 1 pepper on it. And then it's got more flowers. Plant's not in that great of health because I wasn't around for a month and a half to hit my plants up with neem oil, and the aphids and other biting insects kind of had their way with some of my plants. But here's the one of the plants that the dogs pulled out of its bucket, and when I wasn't around, and it was actually left out with roots exposed and all on the ground out here. It was actually laying about right in this spot right here. And I repotted it, and this thing is putting out flowers, and even got a pepper down in there. But since, well, it's got a couple peppers. But since it was pulled out of the buckets, and there were several plants pulled out of the buckets at once, I don't know which plant is which, because they were grabbing, well, the one dog was grabbing buckets from different areas, so there's no telling which one's which. But here's my red habaneros. They're doing very well. I got a couple big ones right there, and they're growing all over the place on these plants. 7-pot primos, still kind of slow coming along, but I do have a few peppers on them. I know there's 1 or 2 in other areas, but plenty of flowers. The alleged reapers, I don't know what each plant's going to turn out to be. These should be Carolina Reapers. I mean, I pulled the seeds that these were grown from a real true Ed Curry Pucker Butt Pepper Company Carolina Reaper. And then I prepped the seeds, and then scarified them, germinated them. So I don't know what the deal is, why a few of these have been turning out to look like chocolate bootlas. Who knows, maybe there's been a 100% cross-pollination rate between the flowers from my chocolate bootlas and these. I have no idea. I don't know why every single pepper on those plants are turning out to look like chocolate bootlas, but I know one of these plants has a little baby pepper growing on it. So far, that's looking like it should be a Carolina Reaper. It's at least not looking like a chocolate bootla. It's getting that pumpkin shape with a little tail on the bottom. Got a few of these unknown plants putting out lots of flowers. I haven't checked thoroughly to see if any of them have turned into peppers yet, but I'll separate them as I see what's growing out. And then my chocolate bootla plants are coming along. I got more ripening. They're doing very well. One thing I'm real excited about is my Prima Tali plants. They're all coming along very well. You know, I got a lot of growth out of them, and there are tons of peppers popping out of these things, and they're all growing consistent. They're all looking exactly like each other. They're looking like what Prima Talis are supposed to. So these plants are doing very well. I got Prima Tali peppers growing everywhere, as you see, tons and tons of flowers. Let's see, I know there's certain areas of these Prima Tali plants that have several peppers growing out. So there's some right there. I got some deep in there. But I'm really excited about that because these things are looking to grow pretty true. You know, that's thanks to Jimmy Pickles. I really appreciate being able to find a legit seller like him online of pepper seeds, because these things are looking the way they're supposed to. And it's very promising. And I can't wait till one of these things begins to ripen, because I still have not tried a Prima Tali pepper. And I want to see if the ones I'm growing will live up to their hype. Then my chocolate Maruga scorpions, they're putting out. I already got one ripening right there. I've already done a review on these things a couple times, so I'm not going to, since they're so small, I'm not going to be plucking a pepper off just to be eating for YouTube, because I want to at least maybe, even though these are small, get at least one bottle of hot sauce made out of these things, because they started flowering while they were small. So I have to do this wisely, and it's the whole point of growing all these things is to make hot sauces. Since I spend so much darn money on them online, I just wanted to have some fun growing these things myself and then make my own hot sauces. But that's what I got going on. And at least once I get one of these Prima Tali peppers to ripen, I'll be putting up a video eating one of those and sharing my thoughts. So until then, catch you guys later.